Hi guys, I have another story to read to you, My Sister's Rusty Bike. It's written by Jim Aylesworth. And maybe after this quarantine is lifted, you can ride your bike to some of these places talked about in our book. I once rode round America on my sister's rusty bike. I found some crazy places and some folks I think you'll like. I met some gals, I met some guys, I met their critters too. And though you may be dubious, I swear that it's all true. I rode to Massachusetts on my sister's rusty bike. I'm found just south of Marblehead, a place I think you'll like. A gal lives there named Pat McDuff. Her cats have purple fur. They love to pile up in Pat's lap, and as she pets, they purr. I rode to Pennsylvania on my sister's rusty bike and found just west of Stony Run a place I think you'll like. A guy lives there named Gilly Gibbs. His hens lay colored eggs. In fact, they lay so many, Gil gathers them in kegs. I rode to West Virginia on my sister's rusty bike and found just north of Paradise a place I think you'll like. A gal lives there named Dee Dee Lee. She loves her pink pet sheep. At night they sleep in bed with her in one warm woolly heap. I rode to Indiana on my sister's rusty bike and found just east of Farmersburg a place I think you'll like. A guy lives there named Buddy Biggs. His cows have spots of blue. I did not count her right side, but her left has 22. I rode to Old Kentucky on my sister's rusty bike and found just south of Bowling Green a place I think you'll like. A gal lives there named Rosie Ross. She raises rose-red ducks, and every day crowds come to see in buses, cars, and trucks. I rode to Alabama on my sister's rusty bike and found just west of Carbon Hill a place I think you'll like. A guy lives there named Willie Weems. He's trained 24 pigs, and when Will gets his fiddle out, they all start dancing jigs. I rode to Mississippi on my sister's rusty bike and found just north of Tupelo a place I think you'll like. A gal lives there named Maybelle Bean. Her dog knows awesome tricks, like barking out the ABCs and counting up to 6. I rode to Louisiana on my sister's rusty bike and found just east of Shady Oaks a place I think you'll like. A guy lives there named Conroy Hicks. His goats sing country tunes, sad songs about unlucky love and neon-lit saloons. I rode to Oklahoma on my sister's rusty bike and found just south of Cherokee a place I think you'll like. A gal lives there named Linda Dunn. Her horse loves TV shows, and when he wants the channel changed, he does it with his nose. I rode to Minnesota on my sister's rusty bike and found just west of Granite Falls a place I think you'll like. A guy lives there named JoJo Jones. His pets are pampered toads. Old JoJo catches all their flies, then serves them olive ode. I rode to Colorado on my sister's rusty bike and found just east of Toonerville a place I think you'll like. A guy lives there named Benny Finn. His rugs are living bears, and when Ben plugs his vacuum in, they all jump on the chairs. I rode to Arizona on my sister's rusty bike and found just south of Iron Springs a place I think you'll like. A gal lives there named Dixie Nix. She's very fond of snakes. She treats them like her dearest friends and feed them pies and cakes. I rode to California on my sister's rusty bike and found just west of Santa Cruz a place I think you'll like. A guy lives there named Ike O'Day. He owns a snow white crow. He's taught it how to speak and rhyme and quote from Edgar Poe. I want to keep on riding on my sister's rusty bike, but found out just this morning my tire has hit a spike. A gal I know, she just came by. She'll take me into town, and when I get a patching kit, I'll be back riding around. So you can look up those places on a map and places that he visited, and you can kind of make that trail. And maybe that's what you can do one day after this quarantine is over. I love you guys. Bye.